Okay, everybody. How's everybody going? How's everybody going? How's everybody doing? Let me see. Let me reload here. I'm not seeing any chats. Not seeing any chats over there. People gotta chat, or else I can't say hi to you. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. What's up, everybody? We got this show going at a decent time today. We're very proud of ourselves here. Oh, who do we got on YouTube? We got Sojourner Sunrise, Doctor Who done that. There he is. We got who else? Who else is gonna show up? I do want to say this. You know, it's been a while since we've needed to do this, but certainly we will need to do it again. So take my next words very seriously, please, everybody. If you are a viewer on YouTube, if you are a YouTuber, if you are watching this show on YouTube, if you always watch this show on YouTube, if you are a YouTube person, at any moment we could disappear from YouTube. And in the past, we have several times disappeared from YouTube. And the people who do not follow us in other places simply disappear. They just don't ever see the show again, especially if we get banned and we got to start a new channel or whatever. So I implore you, dear YouTubers, you can keep watching on YouTube, do your thing. I know it's easy. I know it's connected with your accounts. I know all your favorite people are on YouTube, but I'm begging you, please go follow us on other locations. For instance, Rumble. I just threw the Rumble link into the chat there. Make your way to our channel. And if you don't have a Rumble account, what are you doing? You need to do that. You need to have alternatives to YouTube, not just for us, but for pretty much anybody who's worth listening to or watching. So please, 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 YouTube people, go over to Rumble or DLive or Odyssey or Twitch or literally any of the other platforms and follow us there. And then just the moment we don't show up, keep an eye out for those text messages and those emails, because we do tell everybody when we get booted. But if you're not on the email list, if you're not on the text message alert system, all these things, you will simply disappear and we will miss you. We'll miss you very earnestly. So on top of following us at Rumble, I highly recommend you go join the newsletter. Go to canarycry.party, canarycry.party, and join the newsletter there at that link. And you can join the text message system, which the text message folks should be arriving in just a few seconds here. And if you want to join that text message system, we don't take any personal information whatsoever. And we just send a little message before every episode to let you know we're going live. And yeah, you can text the word Canary to 877-740-3226. Text the word Canary to 877-740-3226. You can also join that over at the canarycry.party link. Okay, thank you, folks. I don't know why I felt the urgent need to do that, but when I feel those urgent needs, I act. All right, well, let's get this show on the road. Let's go.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy. You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Today is September 29th, 2023. We are live to tape on episode 671. And today, JUSTINAZI TRUDOPE. Yep. And signing on from Off the Grid, Razzle Dazzle. I'm your best buddy, Basil. And you, dear friend, are not crazy.
Especially our friends in Canada. You're not crazy.
You're not crazy.
And my name is Gonz, director of the Age of Deceit films, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ, live to tape from California to bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. Today's emergent phenomena, NGMI, not gonna make it. Not gonna make it. There's a list of people that have been, public-facing, institutional, political, maybe entertainment. There's a few that have already fallen to the wayside, but there are many in power. I just don't think they're going to make it. And I'm talking about, the eternal place, and not necessarily 2030, but
sure.
Yeah.
But also 2030.
But also 2030. Yeah, mainly 2030.
Okay. All right, folks. Well, we got a great show today. We are going to be zooming because there are fun family things happening over there in the Shimura household.
Oh, yeah.
But before we go any deeper, we must give that disclaimer for YouTube.
It's time for a disclaimer.
Now listen up, YouTube.
That's right. And just for all the content moderators and censorship managers out there, be they robots or humans, everything you hear on this show comes directly from the mainstream corporate news media. We do not claim to be experts on healthcare, geopolitics, military strategy, corporate law, or the moral and ethical implications of any of these topics, nor do we implicitly or explicitly support or subscribe to any sources or narratives containing misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation, as defined by the Department of Homeland Security. We're good boys. All right, YouTube, we're good boys. That's right. Let me give you a rundown.
Oh, look, here's Basil.
Let me bring you up to speed.
Uh-oh, Canada. Yes, for sure you've heard the Canadian silly geese up there doing their silly goose shenanigans up in the Canadian Parliament. I don't know if anybody's surprised that they honored a Nazi, but it is a little bit in your face. Of course, every podcast and every YouTube channel, everybody's been talking about this, but I feel like we are in a very special place, Gons, coming at this story just a couple days later than everybody else, is that we can put all the pieces together in quite the cohesive manner, letting the situation play out. But very entertaining. And again, if this reality that we are living in is indeed a simulation, the script team, the writer team is not on strike. They're doing a really good job, and I hope they get a raise.
They're busy somewhere else, apparently.
We will let you know during the Flippy update just exactly how long it will take you to learn to control a third robotic arm to help you do your daily tasks. Here's a hint. It's faster than you think. Then we've got some great reset propaganda coming out of the WEF UN meetings this week. Of course, some big COVID updates with lots of news coming out about Fauci. Again, we feel it is our duty to put these things on the record before they are erased from history. And then at the end of the show, the Antarctica updates that was promised 2 days ago, and you're going to love it. But first, Gons, our lead stories.
Do not come back, you Nazi psychopaths.
Couple good ISOs from the COVID era. There's a lot of Nazi talk in that time. I mean, there has been since probably about 1930. But yeah,
sure.
This story, I mean, I watched it kind of unfold from afar. I saw it on social media. I know you were keeping track of it a little bit closer than I was, but I did notice, all the things going on. And, well, let's just talk about it real quick. Just to give you a taste, we have some clips of the actual thing, but Forward.com had a headline here. Zelenskyy joins Canadian Parliament's ovation to 98-year-old veteran who fought with Nazis.
With Nazis. What is the outlet for that? Sorry.
Forward.com.
Forward. Okay.
Yeah.
What a beautiful piece of propaganda from Forward.com. Canadian Parliament stands up and applauds a guy who fought with Nazi. We're not going to identify him as a Nazi. I mean, you can see the twists and turns in the expertly wielded blade of the mainstream media here, just finding a way to not call a Nazi a Nazi. He fought with Nazis, okay? That doesn't mean he is a Nazi.
Yeah, sorry. Trash guy was here, so the kid has to see the trash truck guy because
of course, gotta see the
trash
truck
guy. Yeah, taking out those Nazis. Okay, yeah, no, I agree with you. It's very, very clever. And so the moment in question here, I know it's been played over and over again, but just for the sake of documenting it ourselves, this is about 1:39 seconds. This is the Canadian Parliament, and the person being honored here is the man in question, the man who fought with Nazis, and you have the entire Parliament basically cheering for this
standing ovation. He got two standing ovations.
Two within 2 minutes.
We have here in the chamber today Ukrainian Canadian world veteran from the Second World War who fought the Ukrainian independence against the Russians.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Continues to support the troops today, even at his age of 98.
Yeah, there's Justin Trudeau. Look at that. They're all standing up now, looking up at him. He's kind of in the balcony seating area. Still clapping. Yay, Nazis!
Wow.
Nazis!
If only we did some live shows, maybe we could get a standing O like that.
Seriously, okay. They're still clapping.
His name is Yaroslav Hunka. And I was going to say he's in the gallery, but I think you beat me to that. But I'm very proud to say that he is from North Bay and from my riding of Nipissing-Temiskaming.
Again.
He's a Ukrainian hero, a Canadian hero, and we thank him for all his service. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nazi.
Thank you, Nazi. We thank you.
Oh, standing back up. Second wave. Let's go. Here we go. We got the camera. We got the cell phones out. We got people on wheelchairs standing up. This is fantastic. And this is this particular clip had the screenshots from Wikipedia there. The 14th Waffen Grenadier Division of the SS.
Yeah, talking about the Waffen. It was literally an SS soldier, the most brutal, the most. In fact, his regiment or whatever was directly involved in the concentration camps. He wasn't like a desk jockey, or he wasn't, just kind of guarding the cafeteria. They were directly involved in the operation of the concentration camps. An incredible moment for history. I love, even within Trudeau's statements about the guy, I do not believe, we will hear Trudeau's responses, we'll hear everybody's responses, but I do not believe that he didn't know. I do not believe it. I mean, first of all, when he says he fought the Russians, our allies in World War II, he fought the Russians in World War II. That is, they either don't have a single brain cell in their heads, or they are so brainwashed by the neoliberal globalist establishment that they don't know. They don't know what that means.
Yeah, well, it makes sense.
Complete zombies with not an inkling of historical knowledge, because fighting the Russians in World War II is an immediate clue that somebody's a Nazi. It's absolutely insane. Calling him a world veteran, I kind of liked that. A world veteran, because it's kind of this very expertly wielded propaganda from Trudeau. You're not calling him a world veteran just means he's a veteran from somewhere,
of the world. He's an old man.
Not specifically identifying like what kind of veteran, calling him a world veteran is kind of a weird thing. And then, of course, he's continuing to support the soldiers in Ukraine. Oh, so he's still a Nazi. It's not that he was a Nazi, it's that he is still a literal Nazi supporting literal Nazis. Let's just keep moving, I think.
All right. Well, here's Justin Trudeau's official response.
The Speaker was solely responsible for the invitation and recognition of this man and has wholly accepted that responsibility and stepped down. This was a mistake that has deeply embarrassed Parliament and Canada. All of us who were in this House on Friday regret deeply having stood and clapped, even though we did so unaware of the context.
I believe that they regret it, but only because everybody caught on.
Yeah, it's a thing now. Yeah.
They got caught. That's why they regret it.
It was a horrendous violation of the memory of the millions of people who died in the Holocaust, and it was deeply, deeply painful for Jewish people. It also hurt Polish people, Roma people, 2S LGBTQI plus people, disabled people, racialized.
Go back. I think this is just something I'm just noticing. It's not necessarily directly affiliated with the story, but so we have LGBTQIA plus in the U.S. In Canada, Trudeau is starting the it's not an acronym. I don't know what is it. I guess maybe it is an acronym.
The thing.
Starting the list with 2 S.
2 S's,
Starting it.
And he says it really fast, too. He's like,
really fast. So he's a pro. It's a virtue to be able to say that very fast. He's starting it with Two-Spirit, which is very interesting. That's it's not. It's I don't know. 2S made it pretty far down the line in the U.S., but the Two-Spirit, thing is allegedly from what I've gathered, is like a native thing. It's like a First Nation, Native Canadian, cultural remnants or something of the Two-Spirit people. And so, he's doing a wonderful job of being a good neoliberal, simultaneously praising Nazis while defending himself about praising a Nazi and putting Canadian First Nations, social justice stuff at the front, the very forefront
but Basil,
of the whole acronym.
It is SS, is it not?
What?
The thing that you're talking about.
2S.
Isn't that
so S? That's very interesting.
Wow. Yeah.
Good catch. Yeah, the Nazi was an SS soldier. Yeah, and he's apologized. Trudeau is apologizing to the 2S.
The 2S
community.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sure. 2 S's.
Wow. Good catch. Okay, let's keep moving.
Okay.
It also hurt Polish people, Roma people, 2S LGBTQI plus people, disabled people, racialized people, and the many.
What is racialized?
Racialized. What is racialized people? Is that people who were not racial but have been racialized?
I think that's that's most people living in the liberal world order now, right? We grew up not knowing. I mean, I grew up, whatever, racial, whatever, but now it's like, oh, it's the only thing that matters. I think we're all racialized.
I mean, that is such a good way to describe people who are being sort of brainwashed or co-opted into the neoliberal social justice movement, because before they were not considered racial, but thanks to the social engineering, they have become racialized.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, I do think this whole thing, I have that PSYOP thing going off in my head, because they're basically proving what sort of the right-wing conservative have been saying about this whole establishment on the left and the progressive movement and everything.
Oh yeah, and
so it's proving that point, right? So
he has a great comment about that.
And the many millions who were targeted by the Nazi genocide. Every year, there are fewer and fewer Holocaust survivors to share firsthand the horrors of what they experienced, and it is therefore incumbent upon us all to ensure that no one ever forgets what happened.
Oh.
I also want to reiterate how deeply sorry Canada is for the situation this put President Zelenskyy and the Ukrainian delegation in. It is extremely troubling to think that this egregious error is being politicized by Russia and its supporters to provide false propaganda about what Ukraine is fighting for.
Oh, please.
That is
Russian
amazing.
Propaganda is... What was the phrase he used? Russian propaganda is politicizing.
Politicizing, yeah.
Russian propaganda is politicizing a parliamentary, the political institution, praising, recognizing, politically honoring the political member of the Nazi Party. This does not need to be politicized. It is inherently politicized. This guy is
who would...
This guy's on cocaine is what it is.
Well,
and we will learn more about that
we'll get
in a
to
second.
That. We'll get to that. But also, if you're controlled by Nazis, this is what you would say. I mean, if you are a Nazi.
This, for sure.
This is the kind of thing you would say.
But I love the term politicized in the context of his racialized.
Yeah. Yeah.
Racialized. They have become those poor racialized. Oh, why are you politicized? Don't politicize, racialize.
Politicized, racialized. Here's a 19-second version of the same thing. This is more off the cuff, walking outside the office kind of thing. Yep.
It's going to be really important that all of us push back against Russian propaganda, Russian disinformation, and continue our steadfast and unequivocal support for Ukraine, as we did last week with announcing further measures to stand with Ukraine in Russia's illegal war against it.
I don't know why he thinks that helps. Why does that help? He's calling it Russian propaganda, and in this context, the Russians, you mean the guys your Nazi buddy killed? We shouldn't listen to the guys your Nazi friend killed. It's just out of control. And it's hilarious because there's no way to defend it. Absolutely zero way to defend it. So
enter Karina Gould.
Yeah. Just real quick. He starts by putting off responsibility. He puts it onto the Speaker of the House, who
he's gone, by the way, right?
was asked to resign. Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody had to take the fall for it. And then calling it right-wing propaganda, Russian propaganda. What a dope.
Well, back in the Parliament there, a couple days later, Karina Gould stood up there and made sure, but picking up on the talking points that Trudeau dropped, one of them being politicizing the issue. Here's what she had to say before she asked for quite an egregious request.
I want to please ask all colleagues, particularly those in the Conservative Party of Canada, to make sure that we do not politicize this issue. I don't think it helps anybody.
Then don't call out a different side of the political aisle. She's doing exactly what.
Yeah, don't
politicize it, guys over there. It's like, okay,
you dang, you ding-dang conservatives.
Yeah,
we know you're going to politicize it, you evil conservatives.
I think we need to make sure that we move forward, recognize this mistake, and stand in solidarity together to reiterate our commitment to Jewish Canadians, but also to Ukrainian Canadians and the people who are fighting for freedom, for peace, and for justice in Ukraine right now.
I'm sure she felt really good saying all those things.
Oh, yeah. Now, are you sure this is Karina Gould? I'm looking at a picture of Karina Gould. Okay, Karina, but are you sure it's Mrs. Gould?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
It's. I was thinking that Chiron would say it. I'm looking at a picture about Karina Gould because something interesting about Mrs. Karina Gould. This is over on tablet. Canada's future prime minister, that's Karina Gould, deputy minister. I'm sorry.
I think you're thinking of a different
Freeland.
Yeah, you're thinking of Freeland. Yeah.
Okay. Well, just there was multiple apologies that also came from Chrystia Freeland, who's the deputy prime minister. We didn't bring those clips here because honestly, they're just boring. They're boring apologies.
Yeah.
But her father was a Nazi as well. Yeah. So they have Nazis pretty much
everywhere,
in all levels. Yeah.
Pick a door. There's a Nazi in there. Okay,
which is kind of nice. It's kind of nice to hear about Canada instead of the U.S. because, everybody's talking about the Nazis in the United States and talking about how Canada's so friendly and they're better than us and stuff. It's nice. It's nice to actually see that Canada has some flaws, although we unfortunately saw that through the trucker protest and COVID stuff as well. But it's nice to know that there's Nazis elsewhere.
Yeah. So here's more of Karina Gould there, providing an opportunity for the MPs to vote on, just taking this whole incident out of the history books.
I would like to ask for unanimous consent to adopt the following motion. That notwithstanding any standing order, special order, or usual practice of the House, the recognition made by the Speaker of the House of an individual present in the galleries during the joint address to Parliament by His Excellency Volodymyr Zelenskyy be struck from the Appendix of the House of Commons debates of Thursday, September 21st, 2023, and from any House multimedia recording. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Oh, yes, the Honourable. I guess we have to go to the, we'll ask about unanimous consent, then go to it. All those opposed to the Honourable Ministers moving the motion will please say nay. We don't have unanimous consent.
It goes without saying that those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
This is Marty Morantz, and he's up there kind of providing a rebuttal.
One of the only people saying nay, by the way.
Yeah.
That was a sputtering of nay. And I think this may be an edited clip because in a clip I saw, they had the yay vote first. And the yay vote was just resounding. The entire room said yay. Do it. Erase this from history. This is embarrassing. We need to bury it in the ground. And then it was like 2 guys said nay. And this is one of them.
What happened on Friday was shameful and brought embarrassment to this chamber. It was an ugly reminder of what survivors of the Holocaust know too well, that we must never forget. Deleting the text of the Speaker's words from Hansard's would have...
I'm going to have to interrupt. I see this... I'm afraid it's getting into debate more than anything else. I'm afraid it's debate more than anything else, and I can't.
We can't have that.
Can't have debate. Can't
be having debate.
I know.
About
it's sort of the official thing there, but
1984ing memory holing this moment when the Canadian Parliament honored a Nazi.
Yeah, it's a bad look. I get that there's a procedure involved and votes and yada yada, but and the one thing that I appreciate about the Parliament there is that they cut mics, like for the live feed. They cut mics all the time. If it's your time, like even Trudeau, we'll see a Trudeau kind of back and forth in Parliament here in a second. But yeah, even Trudeau gets cut off. His mic gets cut off at the end. So
yeah, can you imagine being the guy, the intern in the sound booth who's controlling the levels of the mics, and you're there tasked with cutting off the mic of the leader of your nation? Yeah, that's a fun gig.
Yeah, it's good one. That's pay me a lot of money and I'll make sure you're heard. Here, there's a little bit more to this clip here.
Point of order on something that's already been voted on. I'm just trying to make some sense out of it. Okay. I'll let the honourable member go a little bit further, but I'm trying to figure out where he's going with this. I can't say that I disagree with what he's saying, but I just want to. It's not a point of order.
Deleting the text of the Speaker's words from passage would have only one purpose, to try and forget what happened, to wash the record clean. Removing this from...
I'm afraid this is debate.
Cut him off.
Cut him off.
Can you imagine what kind of deep, dark brainwashing, complete control, or evilness? That's the two options. You're either evil or completely brainwashed. To be trying to talk over, and I'm talking about the other MPs there, talk over or scold or gasp or get irritated at somebody trying to say, let's not erase history. It's out of control.
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty clear the number of Nazis in the chamber there.
Yeah.
I thought I had this other clip, but I don't. It was just Trudeau going back and forth with another opponent of the whole situation. But there is this little thing. I think it's up there. It's Trudeau on parliamentary floor doubling down. It
on
is,
Ukraine.
but the clip of it failed. I can open the link and go through all that, but I mean, do we really want to play it? It's not that big of a deal. They just go back and forth a little bit, and
it's pretty. I kind of just want to put it. We don't need to comment. I just want to put it on the record because these things are disappearing.
All right, yeah, good point.
These videos.
Okay, let me hold on. Give me a second. It's gonna
take
a moment to set that all up. So let's.
It's 2 minutes, and we don't need to comment. We'll just gasp and laugh and move on.
Wait, where is it? Where's the? Is this it? I gotta find which one it is.
You looking for the link in our notes here?
Here we go. Yep, I am. Sorry. Yeah, that's why I said it's gonna take a moment here, but I think
third link.
Got it. Yeah. Here we go. Where's he?
This is where I need to have my my soundboard. Let me see if I can boot up my soundboard to hit the wait jingle.
Yeah. Oh, I have the wait jingle too somewhere, but I can play this here. Let's go.
Could give you some time. I mean, we got airtime here to fill. This is great. Professional podcasters.
Yeah. Come on. It's loading.
Is it not buffering? Is that the deal?
It's not loading.
Your internet's working pretty hard over there.
I know it is. You got to do a whole stream
I could play it. You won't get the video. You'll just get the audio.
There we go.
International diplomatic crisis that has brought shame on this entire country. An actual Nazi honored in this place, and instead of taking personal responsibility, he blamed the speaker, went into hiding, and waited 3 days even to call for his resignation. He instructed his MPs to try to wipe the parliamentary record, to forget it. The Prime Minister is there for all of the glory, and when he makes a mess, he's nowhere to be seen. And now he says no one was vetted. He owes Canadians to take personal responsibility. Will he stand up on his feet and just do it today?
I like the guy in the turban in the back.
Yeah.
And then doing it in a gospel style.
Yeah.
Yep.
The principle of independence of Parliament from the government of the day is well established, and the government is always there to work with opposition parties or with the Speaker if they have concerns or questions about any of the guests they choose to invite into this august chamber. We will continue to stand unequivocally with Ukraine, but we will also at the same time defend the rights and privileges of parliamentarians.
The honourable member for Thornhill.
Speaker, the Prime Minister has never been shy to use the Nazi label against his opponents, against Canadians. Right. But not being able to bring himself to take responsibility for an actual Nazi is something that Canadians will not forget.
That's right.
The Prime Minister could have prevented this. He should have prevented it, and he needs to fix it. The world knows that under this Prime Minister, a Nazi was honored in this place. The question is who speaks for Canada? And if it's not this Prime Minister, isn't it time for Canadians to have one who will?
Hear ye, hear ye.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
I think indeed Canadians and the world are watching very carefully what has happened this week and the terrible error that happened on Friday. But I think they're also interested in seeing who's trying to make partisan hay out of this.
No, they're not.
For gains
They're not interested in that.
Obviously,
he's doing that right now.
Mistake. Mr. Speaker, it is important that we learn from this and stand even stronger with Ukraine going forward, that we counter Russian propaganda. But Mr. Speaker,
he's cut off. They cut off his mic.
They cut his mic. I love it. Counter Russian propaganda. I don't even know like what he's referring to. Like, what is Russian propaganda in this story?
Anything that's against him. Anything that's not his narrative is Russian propaganda.
Facts are what's Russian propaganda, apparently. Yeah. That's not a good sign for people who want us to not listen to Russian propaganda.
There's a cadence, and I know there's other shows that have talked about this, but there's a certain cadence that some of these people talk with, and Trudeau is one of those guys. He's like a robot.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 2 or 3 words at a time, and we will not.
This political requirement to not take responsibility for anything. I mean, it's very Machiavellian.
It is.
Which is, it's kind of standard practice. He's not the only one that does it.
Yeah.
But it's like they still don't realize that if he just took responsibility, it would be significantly more politically powerful for him.
It would.
Because right now there's no defense at all, even for Trudeau lovers. What are you going to say? There's nothing to defend. But if, he said, wow, I really messed up, I'm sorry, whatever, then at least Trudeau lovers could be like, look, he's taking
Trudeau lifers
responsibility.
will give him the lifeline. But I don't know. I think this is all meant to stir the opposition. The pendulum swinging has been a thing, and I truly feel like this is sort of the peak valley for the liberal world order side of things.
Liberals love Nazis. It's been just sort of a right-wing talking point.
It's not anymore. It's like a literal. You got a clip of liberal
the
politicians
evidence is
cheering.
there. There are some people who are going to be, who are and will continue to be extremely good at not believing what they see or hear, blocking out. Well, it goes back to what I talked about last week. Delulu is the solulu.
Oh, that's right.
Delusion.
Yeah.
Delusion is the solution. And keeping the delusion alive is a way to get through your life happy and making sure that you're on the right side of history. Delulu is the solulu
That's
for
what the kids
Canadian
are saying these days.
Yeah. Did I not do it on the show?
No, you did it on Twitter X, but I think I get the reference, and everybody I think gets the reference.
There's your Gen Z word of the day for all the millennials, Gen Xers, and boomers out there. Delulu is the solulu. Means delusion is the solution to sort of living a peaceful, happy life. Thank you, Gen Z. You continue to astound me with your talents in coining new phrases. And that's one that we can. I want a Delulu is the solulu jingle.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Okay. One last thing, just to tack on the back of Trudeau here. He had this trip to India, and we all heard about how his plane got stopped by Indian canine units.
Yeah, canine units.
Canine units flagged Trudeau's plane. The plane got grounded. They found a bunch of cocaine in Trudeau's plane, and then an Indian politician whistleblower came out and said that during the trip to India, Trudeau didn't leave his room for like 2 or 3 days. He just stayed in his room and did cocaine.
That's a character trait of some users, people that indulge in the white snow. There, they tend to shut in for a few days to
I think we have a clip here. Is this clip in
English? This clip is not in English. This is a 7-second clip from some news agency in India. But the words, there are 3 words that you can understand in English, and that's all you need to know that this is actually being talked about in Indian news.
Credible. क्या कहते हैं rumors हैं कि इसके जहाज में से कोकेन मिली थी हमारे sniffer dogs को.
Sniffer dogs.
Sniffer dogs and cocaine. That's great. Yeah, and this was a tweet from Benny Johnson, a former Indian diplomat, says there was credible rumors that cocaine was found on Justin Trudeau's plane by drug-sniffing dogs in India, and that the Prime Minister didn't attend the G20 dinner because he was high. Well, who knows? This is all allegations.
Sure.
But I will say, if there's anything that sort of allows the Delulu to be the Solulu, it's cocaine.
And if anybody can really pull off Delulu as a Solulu, it's Justin Trudeau. I think he is the leading candidate, the model maybe for how to implement this process that the millennials or Gen Z are into.
Justulu Trululu. Justulu
Trululu. That should have been the name of the episode. Yeah,
that's right.
Always in hindsight.
All right, Gons, let's keep it moving. We're excited to be doing this episode, especially because it's Friday. Oh, yeah. Keep playing with the Friday thing.
You're going to learn today. Because it's Friday. You ain't got no job. And you ain't got shit. Are you not entertained? It's Friday. It's Friday.
Woo! It's Friday, folks. We made it through again, and time keeps going faster. Thank you for everybody sending me your messages, confirming my feeling that time is literally moving fast, faster than usual. Now, Gons, unless you have an important personal thing to talk about, I wanted to read some boots on the ground that we got.
Yeah, go for it. I just wanted to mention our debt. 33 trillion, 69 billion.
Whee! It just keeps going up.
Yeah, I've had this tab open now for a couple weeks. I think it's been the $18 billion more in debt within the 2 weeks. So
incredible.
That's amazing.
Incredible. That's very impressive. Very impressive. All right, some boots on the ground. Thank you, everybody, for we had a nice chunk of boots on the ground reports come in since last episode. Thank you very much. It's extremely valuable to the show. And here's a couple that were specifically regarding the Marina Abramovich story.
Yeah, before you get into that.
Okay.
Boots on the ground.
This is our CCR special Boots on the Ground report. Now, let's go live.
Oh, that's fun. Awesome. I forgot about that jingle. So you remember the story from last episode about Zelenskyy requesting that Marina Abramovich, the sort of secularly known performance artist and otherwise known Satanist, wanted Marina Abramovich to become a ambassador to Ukraine. This was originally posted
education.
on the Yes. Well, a couple things. Ambassador to Ukraine and for Marina to help rebuild Ukrainian schools. And we gave our thoughts on that in the context of who she is and what she's been involved with. Now, this was originally posted on The Telegraph and then was picked up by a couple other places. Since Wednesday, the story about Vladimir Zelenskyy requesting Marina Abramovich become an ambassador to Ukraine has been absolutely scrubbed from the mainstream media, taken down from every mainstream media outlet. Now, of course, you can still find it on blogs and stuff like that, alternative news sites. But the Telegraph and other mainstream sites totally took it down. And one outlet we love to bring is MSN, because MSN, they don't actually write their own news. They just steal it and mirror it from other outlets. And the Telegraph attempted to scrub this story, but MSN had mirrored it, so it lives on forever. Even though
Thank you, Microsoft.
Even though they're trying to bring it down, MSN's sort of shady practice of stealing news from everybody else lets it live on. So thank you, MSN.
Yeah.
But we had a couple of boots on the ground reports. This first one is from Stefan S. And mentions this is related to the Marina Abramovich thing. And Stefan S. says this: I feel I have experience to add to this discussion. 30 years ago, after the fall of the Soviet Union, there was an effort to reform public education in these states to teach morals and ethics in the classroom, which they recognized the communist state was pretty deficient in performing. Okay, so they've done this before. Short-term mission projects from the West were set up to provide education departments and tools and materials to accomplish this. Ukraine enthusiastically supported this. I had the opportunity to assist in week-long seminars in 2 cities, Odessa and Kryvyi Rog, with educators covering the curriculum and specifically teaching out of the Gospel of Luke, parables parables of Jesus. I met with a handful of volunteer teachers at a time in workshops. In a sense, we were rebuilding the schools. Yeah, we are interested in, do they want her to physically rebuild the schools or curriculum-wise? Now, given war typically destroys structures, they would have a need to rebuild schools physically, but the article sounds like they have a mind to rebuild in spiritual matters as well. Okay, so he's Stephen S., who had experience 30 years ago rebuilding the schools in a spiritual sense when Western organizations were going over there and helping curriculum using the Bible. So we know there is a pattern and a habit of rebuilding curriculum based on spiritual matters, which now in the Marina Abramovich satanic context is that they're literally trying to do that again, just with satanic principles and not Christian principles.
Yeah, let the Christians figure out the model, and then we'll just swap out the main source.
It's like Burger King and McDonald's. 30 years ago, schools were very similar block-sized buildings with stairs, hallways, and classrooms of desks without much personality. However, the one art piece I recall was a bronze statue in the first floor stairway of an elementary school. It was a young boy and girl leaning over to kiss each other on the lips like some oversized Hummel figurine. You remember the Hummel figurines?
Yeah.
It's like the cute kids doing cute stuff, reading the Bible or whatever. Quote, "This is all they have to offer these kids." I asked myself, I guess Marina has more. Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. I like, thank you, Stefan, for sort of establishing that pattern throughout history, specifically with Ukraine. It's great. We also had some boots on the ground from producer Sarah. Producer Sarah comes in and says, listening to your recent news talk, I thought I'd just let y'all know that I was a studio art major and art history minor in undergrad at a liberal arts school and got a master's of fine art at an art school. And throughout my art education, Abramovich was considered a seminal figure in Western art. Western art history canon. Okay, she's canonical. At the very least, she is seen by the art world as the most important performance artist. I was always super creeped out by her and her institutional perspective of, I skipped a line. Creeped out by her and her work long before I found your podcast and learned more about her and her real occult workings. But I just thought that I'd share that, at least from the institutional perspective of the art world, that she is seen as simply an artist, and a very important one at that. I will also say that I am seeing, even just as at the local level in my city, a major increasing in occult ritual being passed off as art. Yeah, interesting. Even on the local level. So Abramovich being this sort of canonical figure in Western art, influencing, putting that sort of satanic and occult influence into probably artists' work that would consider themselves, non-spiritual, non-religious, or whatever, secular.
Yeah, this also. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna read.
Okay, so. I was just gonna say that this helps make sense as to why, just in culture in general, we've seen a lot of the satanic imagery in the last 10, 15. I mean, it's always kind of been there as sort of like an underground or rebellion or whatever. But in the mainstream, you got your Beyoncé's and all that kind of stuff. The halftime shows, all the stuff we covered over the last 10, 15 years, that makes more sense that there was an institutional, it was a top-down thing. It wasn't just like, these people just into it. It's like, no, culturally, and now you get your celebrities that are following it, and then you have a whole, hive mind of people that support it and think it's just art and, it's cool and whatever, but they're falling right into a trap, a spiritual trap.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I think this concept is very interesting in the context of our Burning Man research.
Yeah,
go check out the previous Burning Man episode a couple episodes ago, folks. It matches this perfectly. And you're right. So, she's considered a fine artist, which is like an elite level. She's not like a branding marketing artist or something. She's a fine artist, an elite, a member of the elite. And from her being the pinnacle of elite fine art, then you have the musical artists, Beyonce and everybody. who indulge in fine art. Like, that's where they get their influence.
They're like a bridge to the masses.
Elites.
Yeah.
Exactly. The elites get their ideas from fine artists, and then the rest of us get sort of trickle down occultism through the music industry and stuff. Yeah. Last bit here. And I'm not just talking about small artist-run galleries, but this is happening over and over again at big contemporary art institutions. Love the podcast. Thank you very much, producer Sarah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's I love getting boots on the ground stuff that not only confirms what we were sort of analyzing from the topic, but also adding a ton more to it.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
We want more of that, by the way. If you have any personal experience and any stories we covered, definitely let us know. We can share it with the community.
Anybody, listening out there, if you have boots on the ground experience with stuff we talk about, either send us an email, that's always fun, or even better, you can leave us a voicemail.
Yes.
Because we like playing those voicemails. You can go to canarycrynewstalk.com, look for the green tab on the right hand or the bottom side of the page. Click on that, and you can leave us a voicemail. And maybe, that one's only 90 seconds. We can make a button for a longer one. Okay. But thank you very much. Both of those producers.
Yep.
And with that, Gons, I want to thank some executive producers.
Executive producers.
That's right, folks. We're on the value for value model, which means we take no corporate money, commie money, or cartel money. We are entirely funded by listeners like you, nay, producers like you. And executive producers are those who come in, they support an individual episode with $100 or more. They are a huge reason we are alive right now, and we appreciate it very much. So we're going to thank them here at the top of the show. Ready, Gons?
Yeah, kind of. Yes. Sorry, taking care of baby too. Yeah.
No,
I am ready. Yes.
You're starting off with Sir Marty K. Night of the Wrong Timeline. Sorry, executive producer Sir Marty K. Night of the Wrong Timeline.
Sir Marty K. Thank you very much.
And Sir Marty K. Give me 1 second. Comes in for $119.79. I'm trying to remember. There was a moment where we learned why 1979 was important to Marty K.
The year he was born.
Maybe that was it. Was that it?
That sounds like it.
Okay. I'm just double checking to see if Sir Marty K sent a note, but thank you very much. You did? Okay.
I did see a note because there's I have a couple photos or screenshots that are associated with it.
Yeah, okay. I got it here.
Okay.
So first he says, Gonz, you should get yourself an au pair. Hello, fellas, and my fellow Canarians. Hope everything is well. Thanks for making the Burning Man episode. I enjoyed it very much. I rarely get to catch the live streams because as a now 44-year-old relic, the time difference is killing me softly. So he's a Euro producer here. So I myself enjoy the long man's long episodes when I listen to them in the cold mine. I work in a construction, by the way. Got it. One last thing, and this is not me trying to be funny and stuff, but weird and funny things keep happening to me. Since I'm old and stubborn, it seems that Team Lucy, is that Lucifer? Team Lucy has realized that they can't intimidate me. It seems like they have changed tactics and are now trying to recruit me. I have taken 2 screenshots. Please show them and tell me what you think is going on. The screenshot with the Danish Prime Minister is Facebook itself suggesting that I should befriend Mette. I have nothing to do with it. It was Facebook that suggested it out of the blue. I'm telling you, the internet is acting weird. Yours truly, Marty K. Yeah, the internet is acting weird. Yeah, and he has a screenshot here of I guess it's Facebook recommending that he befriends the prime minister of his country.
Mette Frederiksen. Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if there's an election going on or something, or you're just getting personal attention from the leader of your country.
Well, there was another one, the first reference there. The Illuminati was reaching out with a DM, it looks like, on Instagram or something. Do you wish to join the great Illuminati Brotherhood and earn more than $2,050,050?
So good.
Yeah.
I love official Illuminati accounts. They're always showing dudes. They're usually African American. dudes.
Yeah. Blinging too.
big,
Like they're really
big
showing off
gold
their
chains.
stuff.
Yeah, big nice cars. Yeah. They're trying to recruit you, Sir Marty K. Resist, my friend. You're already a producer of this show. There's nowhere else to go. You've peaked in life. This is gonna be it. All right. Next up.
Oh, hold on. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Sir Marty K. Oh, wrong button. Thank you, Sir Marty K.
Where'd you find this?
Continue.
Next up, we've got executive producer Kyle N. comes in again.
Kyle N. Thank you.
Yeah. Executive producer Kyle N. comes in with a nice round number, which means we're not going to disclose the number. And just a reminder for everybody, when you produce the show in a nice round number, that's you telling us not to disclose it. If you don't mind us disclosing it, you make it a funky number. So, send some sort of message with your number, 33 cents, 77 cents, something like that. Thank you, executive producer Kyle N.
Where'd you find this?
Next up, you know her, you love her. It's executive producer Felicia D.
Felicia D, thank you very much. Good
Thank
to see you.
you. Felicia D comes in with a nice round number. We appreciate that.
Where'd you find this?
Last but not least here, we've got, he's keeping it going, folks. He is a master executive producer. This is executive producer Sir Alex Protocol V2, Knight of the Berean Protocol. And he comes in for $100 and 33 cents. Ooh. He's on a...
Uh-oh, you cut out. Hold on, you cut out.
Okay, I hear you.
Assuming you
He's
said...
on a 200...
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
He's on a 200. Oh my gosh. He's on a 216 streak altogether. And
streakalicious.
He is now officially executive producer streak 12 episodes in a row, which means Sir Alex Protocol V2, Knight of the Berean Protocol, is executive producer. Might as well be walking on the sun.
Executive streak. Might as well be walking on the sun.
Holy smokes. This is a world record that Sir Alex Protocol is setting episode by episode. We're so grateful.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Smash Mouth guy died.
Oh yeah, he passed away recently, a week ago.
It's weird.
Like yeah. All right.
Somehow I actually cared about him dying more than I cared about almost anybody else.
Really?
Yeah,
Maybe
Jimmy
a
Buffett.
childhood thing. You were probably pretty
Jimmy
young
Buffett.
when that song was popular.
We can't go to the Antarctica Jimmy Buffett concert because he's gone.
I think you have a second job.
Maybe
Jimmy Buffett cover band. You and I
Maybe
could do
he's
Jimmy
not.
Buffett cover band and do well.
He's not dead. He just got upgraded to the Antarctica deep underground military base.
They transferred his consciousness into a Nephilim penguin, and he's happily sliding around on the ice.
Thank you to Sir LX Protocol V2 Knight of the Berean Protocol, a champion of executive producers.
Where'd you find this?
And thank you to all of our producers. Let's see. Yeah, I think we'll do that regularly. Thank you. And if, look, these executive producers, this was a great showing today. Thank you guys so much. It really gives us lets us take a breath, especially at the end of the month like this. This is, we're very grateful. I mean, there's a part of me that's ready for the executive producer bounce back guns, which means we'll get 0 executive producers next episode, just sort of how it happens, but that's okay. We're very grateful. Thank you to all of our executive producers.
Yep, thank you.
And with that, let's keep rolling, I think, huh?
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Flippy.
Fast.
Where's Flippy? Flippy, there you are.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
All right, folks, time for the Flippy update. Flippy is our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways that robots are taking over the world. Now there's nothing we can do about it. Today's Flippy update is coming from ScienceDaily.com. And listen up, folks, those who might be interested in, maybe joining the robot team during the robot apocalypse, maybe be trying to befriend the robots. integrate into robot culture after they enslave all humanity, this is for you. ScienceDaily.com, 1 hour training is all you need to control a third robotic arm.
1 hour?
Study finds. Yeah.
All right, we gotta do the learn a robot arm in 59 minutes.
We gotta beat him. We gotta beat him.
It's like 6-minute
hour,
abs,
folks. You know, we talk about people who want to merge with machines all the time, the cyborgism, the transhumanists, and it all sounds, it's almost always excruciatingly long process, healing, surgery, lots of training to make your brain control the
heal the hole they cut in your skull. There's all kinds of stuff.
Right. Get your stitches. It's a whole thing. But so this is good news, as far as the psychological operation that is the Flippy update or the Flippy campaign. 1 hour training is enough for people to carry a task alone with their supernumerary robotic arms as effectively as with a partner, study finds. And I think right there is the crux of the whole thing, which is, hey, you don't need another human. You don't need a partner. You don't need two people to do the job of two people. Now, with the help of one robotic arm, one person can do the job of two people. This is excellent news for employers. This is excellent news for transhumanists. This is excellent news for biohackers and human optimization people.
Dr. Octopus fans.
Whoever's on that grind, go get your robotic arm because it makes you as powerful as two humans. A new study by researchers at Queen Mary University in London, Imperial College London, and the University of Melbourne has found that people can learn to use supernumerary, that's fun, robotic arms as effectively as working with a partner in just 1 hour of training. The study, published in the journal IEEE, which a producer recently taught me. We don't say IEEE, we say IEEE. Open Journal of Engineering and Medicine and Biology investigated the potential of supernumerary robotic arms, which is a cool word to just say an extra arm, to help people perform tasks that require more than two hands. The idea of human augmentation with additional artificial limbs has long been in science fiction, like in Dr. Octopus in The Amazing Spider-Man. Quote, many tasks in daily life, such as opening a door while carrying a big package, require more than two hands. And this I love, because we're not just talking about manufacturing, lines or doing complicated work tasks or, mega sports, 3-arm sports that certainly will be transhuman leagues will be a thing. No, this is for everybody.
Hey,
not
got
just
too much groceries. You don't want to walk down the stairs back out to the car. You can do it all at once with your supernumerary robot arm.
All you dudes out there who want to carry all the groceries in one trip without going back to the car. I know you've been struggling. You've been training your whole life, but all you need is a robotic arm. And I think the appeal to the everyman in this release is the key, right?
Yeah.
This isn't just for, hey, amputees or, hey, those medical people or, hey, doctors who need an extra hand in surgery. No, this is for the everyman. The everyman, after 1 hour of training, can carry out their dream of carrying all the groceries in from the car.
We're going to live in a world where a bunch of people walking around are going to have supernumerary robot arms and limbs. It's inevitable. This is just the beginning, and people are going to look at you if you don't have one. It'll be like not having an iPhone. Like, what are you doing?
Very common. Yeah, status symbol. That'll be a big part of it.
Yeah.
Here's a quote: "Supernumerary robotic arms have been proposed as a way to allow people to do these tasks more easily, but until now, it was not clear how easy they would be to use."
Wow.
It's like a late night infomercial. Like, oh, you thought having a third arm would make life easy, but you don't even know how easy it'll be to use. It's easier than ever. Money back guarantee.
Yeah.
The study involved 24 participants who were asked to perform a variety of tasks with a supernumerary robotic arm. The participants were either given 1 hour of training in how to use the arm, or they were asked to work with a partner. And lo and behold, quote, our findings are promising for the development of supernumerary robotic arms. Do they have to say supernumerary every time? They suggest that these arms could be used to help people with a variety of tasks, such as surgery, industrial work, or rehabilitation. Okay, sure. You got to have the medical take on it, or else it'll never make it past the censors. So there you go, folks. Prepare your mind for 1 hour training to learn how to use your new everyman supernumerary robotic arm. You don't want to fall behind the Joneses, right? You don't want to be caught dead in public without your third arm, because that will let everybody know just if you're on the right or wrong side of history. It'll become a moral issue too. I bet.
Of course, all of these things will become a moral issue. I like how they use Dr. Octopus, as if to say, like, hey, he figured it out on his own. You can be just like Dr. Octopus, the villain.
The villain?
Yeah.
The recurring villain in the Spider-Man series? You could be just like this evil villain.
The other thing I noticed at the bottom, because this is Science Daily, it's kind of like a quasi-scientific paper journal type of outlet, right? So, it says at the bottom, the study was funded by EU, blah, 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 blah. But it says here, conbots, CONBOTS. Now, is that conservative bots, or is that like, we're conning you, conbots?
Oh, interesting. Conbots. I don't know. I've never heard that one.
Yeah.
We've heard cobots.
Yeah, we've heard cobots. No, these are conbots.
Where did you see this?
Just at the very bottom of the article where it says the study was funded by.
Oh, yeah, it's right. Conbots.
Tri-manual and conbots. Grants.
Interesting.
So they must give grants. Conbots giving out grants.
I don't know. I'll follow that rabbit hole. See
Yeah. Do that. That's I'm curious as to where that leads.
All right, folks. That's your Philippine update for the day.
Excellent. Okay, let's do this real quick.
Okay, hold on. Conbots was easy.
Oh, it was okay.
Just immediately, here it is. Conbots, connected through robots. It means connected bots.
Sure it does.
Yes. Conbots projects will aim at designing a new class of robots to physically couple people to facilitate learning and improving efficiency during the training of handwriting and music skills. Interesting. Okay. So Conbots, they make sort of an exoskeleton arm trainer thing. So it's this robot that goes on your arm, and it moves your arm for you to teach you violin or handwriting
like
or
muscle
something.
Memory.
Yeah, establishing novel human and human robot interaction paradigms through the use of an innovative modular robotic platform, integrating wearable technology and machine learning techniques. It's a bunch of hullabaloo is what it is. Establishing novel human-to-human interactions with robots, of course. Follows the propaganda we've seen before.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this real quick.
We need a great reset.
We will build Babylon. This time, a new world order.
We've talked about the fifth generation warfare for quite a few episodes now, and I think it's going to continue to be an important theme as we analyze the news and how it affects us psychologically, physically, the whole deal. And part of what we do is we keep track of some keywords, how they're used in news stories. Things like, for me anyway, my list includes UN 2030 Agenda, Klaus Schwab, Great Reset, WEF for World Economic Forum, stuff like that. So I see on a daily basis, I'm looking at headlines at the very least, and then if they are interesting enough, I'll click into them. The headlines of mainstream news outlets carrying stories about these topics. And I noticed in the last few days, there was a spike of reports about Klaus Schwab and Agenda 2030 and WEF, almost as if they're trying to, kind of take over the SEO for the next few weeks or something. But just
interesting too, during the UN meetings going on.
During the UN meetings and the whole deal. So I have Reuters here. First off, headline, fact check. Klaus Schwab did not say UN Agenda 2030, quote, failing. WEF spokesperson.
Oh, they're saying Agenda 2030 is not failing.
That is the implication. that
Okay. All right.
World Economic Forum founder and executive chairman Klaus Schwab did not say United Nations plans to achieve 17 development goals, known as Agenda 2030, are failing, according to a WEF spokesperson, despite social media posts claiming or making the claim online. Misleading posts on platform X, formerly known as Twitter, and Facebook shared screenshots of a website article claiming Klaus Schwab admits Agenda 2030 is failing. Now you can click into the article, you could click into the tweet, and yeah, it's the People's Voice is the outlet here, which is always a little suspect. I've always thought that it's one of these sort of freedom type of outlets. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong to be too skeptical, but it seems that anytime this
sounds like an op to me.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Baby on board, everybody. We need to put, jingle makers. Can somebody make a baby on board jingle? Here's what I'll do. I promise if we get some quality baby on board jingle and what was the other one? Oh, Delulu is the Salulu jingles. Soon, if we get it in the next 2 episodes, I will get my soundboard back up and running so I can cover some jingles while Gons takes care of babies.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so it's one of these outlets. It's often quoted as a fake news by the mainstream. It's the same outlets every single time. And this one pops up quite a bit, but the screenshot is there, and people and influencers in the conservative or alt media ran with it, and it's easily not debunkable per se. He might have said something like that, like we need to tighten the screws or something, something in reference like that. But then, of course, the headlines make it sensational, and then the mainstream can debunk it. So it's sort of this cyclical thing that happens.
Often we found that these headlines are planted just so they can fact check them.
Right, exactly. And something similar, PolitiFact published 2 articles on the same day, similar in nature. The first one, PolitiFact, no evidence. Klaus Schwab said United Nations 2030 agenda is failing. So the same story, they're carrying it. Okay, got it.
But what a weird one for them to fact check. Who cares? Yeah. If they think 2030 agenda is a conspiracy theory, why do they care if the conspiracy theorists think that it's not happening? It's a weird angle to take, but okay.
Well, the article here quotes, we resolve between now and 2030 to end poverty and hunger everywhere, to combat inequalities within and among countries, to be peaceful, blah, blah, blah. All the good stuff reads the agenda's declaration posted on the United Nations' website. But a recent Instagram post puts a darker spin on the agenda, sharing a fake news headline and warning people to not comply with anything they tell you to do because, quote, there are no viruses nor human-caused climate change. There is only fake food, 5G, weather manipulation, and a group of psychopaths who want to rule the world, end quote. Again,
look,
really tailored the message there to the crowd.
But also, they might not like the way that was said, but you can't argue that what was said is true.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I guess maybe minus there are no viruses. I know there's some people think that viruses are fake, but
yeah. So interesting that PolitiFact would also pick up on this particular debunking. But PolitiFact also published on the same day another fact check. The World Economic Forum is not planning to seize control of everything through the Great Reset. Okay, they're not doing that. Okay, social media posts on Instagram.
How many times are they going to do this one?
I don't know, but it's just weird that it popped up, and it's just such a big thing. It's got to be an SEO type of move or something.
Yeah, they're watching Google Analytics.
They're looking at the analytics, and they're saying, "Oh my gosh, the only time anybody talks about the Great Reset or the World Economic Forum or Klaus is when they're calling us out." So let's.
And they're always fact checking some random social post with no followers and use it as context to fact check, but yet they have yet to use the source material, Klaus Schwab's book about the Great Reset, where he describes the whole thing in plain words.
Sometimes they mention it. Sometimes he did write a book called The Great Reset, but it has nothing to do with taking over your life. Just to top this off here, NBC News, they kind of came in with a different angle here, which I thought was interesting. Their headline here, Spanish language misinformation about renewable energy spreads online, report finds. False narratives about renewable energy are malleable and adapted to different languages after extreme weather events in different countries, the researchers found.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, they really get it.
Weird. Again, what are they? This conspiracy theories also in Spanish.
That's what I'm saying.
Ay, caramba.
Lopez G and Lacatos also found that a significant number of the accounts posting false claims about climate change and renewable energy also spread misinformation about COVID-19 vaccines and the Great Reset, a conspiracy theory about turning the world into a single economic political bloc to the detriment of national identities.
Ay, Dios mío. Cannot believe that the conspiracy theories are spreading across the border. That is, again, like it always does when they try to pin something on racism, they are themselves being racist. Like what? You don't think people who speak Spanish can question the government? Like, what are you talking about?
The NBC News is racializing anybody who speaks Spanish. You don't have to be Mexican. You just Spanish speaking, Spanish language misinformation. You could be from Spain. You can be from Mexico or Puerto Rico.
Makes it all the more dangerous. Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. Did I have?
You want to talk about?
Let's forget Fetterman real quick because Forget Fetterman. He's just being.
We can do them on Monday.
We'll do Fetterman on Monday. Yeah, we're a little short on time here. Let's do some COVID real quick.
We're zooming.
It's Corona time. COVID-19, 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 COVID-19. Science is true. COVID-19, COVID-19, COVID-19. Coronavirus.
Vaccine, number one way.
Science is truth.
Data.
You do not know what you are talking about.
Trouble for Fauci, man. I mean, he's retired, and somehow the trouble does not stop. He thought retiring would, get him off the hook. But a few things coming out in the past week or so, continuing to sort of reveal, if not illegal, some things that are making people skeptical about what Fauci's job was and what he says he is supposed to do. I'm going to take this straight from oversight.house.gov. This is a government website, government document. Congress of the United States, House of Representatives, Dear Inspector General Grimm, the Select Committee on the Coronavirus Pandemic has received concerning information regarding the Central Intelligence Agency's investigation into the origins of COVID-19. Okay. Some concerning information about the CIA.
Did they ask the CIA about this whole situation? Did they say
That's a good question. According to information gathered by the Select Committee, Dr. Anthony Fauci, then director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, played a role in the Central Intelligence Agency's review of the origins of COVID-19. The information provided suggests that Dr. Fauci was escorted into the Central Intelligence Agency headquarters without a record of entry. Why would they not know
what you are talking about?
He didn't have to sign in on the sign-in sheet. They didn't want it on the record.
They brought him in just right into that lake door, into the underground.
Without a record of entry, and participated in the analysis to influence the agency's review. Our goal is to ensure the scientific investigative process regarding the origins of COVID-19 was fair, impartial, and free of alternative influence. Alternative influence.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Dr. Fauci. Yeah, okay. Got a lot of outlets are calling it smuggled. He got smuggled. Like they put him in a suitcase.
They put a bag over his head. You're coming with me.
But I mean, there's no record.
You, Trump?
I mean, they keep record of everybody going in and out of the CIA buildings.
Yeah.
And maybe he didn't sign in on the sign-in sheet, but did like a
This is all a ruse, man. He's actually the ruler of that whole operation. So, they're making it seem like he's getting dragged in, but really he just took off his mask and his lizard face.
He came in through the air ducts. Right. Yeah. Okay. So that connects to this other oversight.house.gov thing. So you got Fauci going into the CIA to influence the investigation. And another government document here says testimony from CIA whistleblower alleges new information on COVID-19 origins. Staff on the Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic and Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence have heard testimony from a whistleblower alleging that the Central Intelligence Agency offered 6 analysts significant monetary incentives to change their position on COVID-19's origin.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you got Fauci going into the CIA secretly, or just an innocent meeting. And then you have the CIA bribing analysts who are part of the investigation to change their position on whether COVID came from a pangolin or a bat or a biolab. The whistleblower, who presents as a highly credible senior-level CIA officer, alleges that of the 7 members assigned to the CIA team tasked with analyzing COVID-19 origins, 6 officers concluded that the virus likely originated from a lab in Wuhan.
Oops.
Sounds like they did a good job of the first time around. The CIA then, however, allegedly offered financial incentives to 6 of the experts involved in the investigation to change their conclusion in favor of zoonotic origin.
They there's a lot of podcasts out there now and people out there that are like, oh, former CIA, I got recruited with the CIA, and they're talking about it. And I've listened to a few of them, and a lot of them talk about how, we're looking for a certain type of person.
Yeah.
They're always looking for a certain profile psychologically. And my gosh, I mean, this must be a prime example where they're like, make sure that they're bribable. Okay. We can't have this people standing for hard principles. We need people that are malleable through some money. So.
Well, it's hilarious because in the past, I like spy podcasts and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
You hear the stories about during the Soviet Union, there was, I forget his name, but he was the most dangerous United States double agent. He's a CIA guy who got bribed by the Russians and then gave away, the names of dozens of officers, and they all got killed. And it's all because of this guy who took bribes. But it sounds like the culture inside the CIA is to be open to bribes. It's just they want you getting bribed by, your own government, not the other government.
Right.
It's how much does it suck for the one guy who did what he was supposed to do? There's 7 analysts, 6 of them said it was the Wuhan lab. One of them was like, oh, yeah, it's zoonotic. Yeah. Kind of gives a wink to leadership.
Yeah.
And then the other 6 guys get big monetary
Oh, they get the big
incentives.
checks. Oh, yeah, the guy who told the line totally missed out on an opportunity. Come on, man.
He missed out on extorting his oown employer.
He's going to write the handbook. Yeah, bud.
Ooh. Yeah. So there's details, but I mean, that's the fun details. And while we're at it, I did just want to bring to everybody's attention from independent.co.uk and everywhere else, there is a new
strain.
What is it? Strain.
Yeah.
Pyrola. Pyrola COVID strain.
It's like pyro, like fire.
So
is it going to burn you?
I was trying to look up Pyrola and kind of what it means. It shows up in a lot of different sort of contexts.
Of course it
Some
does.
of them talk about like plant families. Lily of the Valley is a Pyrola. I guess in other certain contexts, in sort of a what's the word? I don't know. In a you'll see it. If you just search parola definition, the first thing that comes up, part of it is the Galatian. It says Galatian. Galatian?
Oh, so it's got
know.
a little ice, meaning Antarctica kind of thing, loosely adjacent.
Oh,
I'm seeing the plant.
I didn't.
I'm seeing it relate to the genus Pyrola, spelled a little differently, and they're evergreen. That's interesting.
Right.
An evergreen strain.
Here's the problem, though. It's spelled differently. It's supposed to be spelled, or the way it is spelled on Independent is Pirola.
Right.
If you do Pyrola, it's plant stuff.
Right.
If you search Pirola, the way that it's spelled in the article, it's from, so Galician is relating to Galicia in northwestern Spain. So Spanish, or, from Spain. The etymology, the definition is a vulgar term for the male genitalia. So if you search it, how it is spelled in the article, the definition of that word is a Spanish vulgar word for male genitalia.
Well,
I don't know if somebody's playing a prank, or if they are moving into some weird occult naming convention.
Well, considering the occult significance of Osiris, and
that's right,
the mythology of Osiris and Isis. Osiris gets chopped up, 14 different pieces. One of the pieces is the male reproductive region there, and the whole obelisk itself is modeled after the replacement of that piece that Isis could not find. So she made her own to get pregnant.
That's what immediately crossed my mind too, especially with the very specific spelling. Somebody wanted to refer to a vulgar name for the male genitalia. Very strange, but we'll be keeping an eye on. That doesn't sound right now, but we will pay attention to this Parola strain. See where we go there.
None of it's going to work.
It's the patriarchy, Gons. The patriarchy.
Yeah.
It's the pandemic of the patriarchy.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's
yes.
keep moving.
Yeah. Well, I think we're coming up towards the end here. At least my heart out today. Have some family affairs going on that are very important for the 6-year-old.
Yep.
So. I got to make sure I'm on time.
Let's thank some producers. The fact of the matter is, this poor Antarctica story is going to need to get pushed off again.
Doesn't get it. Yeah.
Maybe we're not supposed to report on this Antarctica story.
Maybe something will pop up that is, it'll help us understand this one, the story that
even better.
Yeah.
So let's not dilly dally. We got a few more financial producers to thank, and let's do that right now.
Let's
do
it. Yep.
Value for value. We take no money from corporations, commies, or cartels.
That's right. You know the gist, folks. We don't survive. We don't exist without the producers of the show. And the producers are you. And so thank you for everybody supporting the show. You can go to, first of all, you can produce the show with your time, your talent, or your treasure. It's not just all about money. But you can go to canarycry.support to learn more. We got a few more producers to thank. And here I go, Gons, starting with producer Jared P.
Jared P., thank you very much.
Yeah, it comes in with a nice round number and says, thanks, Basil and Gons, for everything you do. I started listening to you a few months ago.
Hey.
Ooh, we got a newbie. And I look forward to every show. Says, heap of trouble. We're calling him heap of trouble. Okay, I'm going to change that on my records here. Thank you very much, heap of trouble.
Thank you.
Next up, Stephan S. came in. Stephan S. came in for twice, actually, for 1111.
1111 twice. 1111. Thank you very much.
Yep, and he sent in his boots on the ground report we read at the beginning of the show. Thank you, Stephan.
Thank you.
Next up, we got Malik W. comes in. Right, nice round number, 22 episodes in a row.
22.
Malik's charging it, dude.
Yeah,
nice job.
Doing it. Thank
you,
Malik.
Next up, we got producer Jack D in the house.
Jack
came in.
He's nice. Jacked.
He's jacked. Yeah. Producer Jacked came in. Nice round number and a short note. Much love. Amen. Amen.
Hey, thank you very much. Amen.
Jacked. You want to give him we got an amen jingle laying around somewhere? Producer Drawmod is back. He comes in for 777. A little note here. It says, hey guys, it's Joey. Hi, Joey. I'm back. I'm going back to Japan in media missions next week. I'll tag y'all in some Instagram posts. Please pray for me and my church member. Oh, yes, Joey. This is the guy who does the media missions over in Japan.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
I'll keep a lookout. I have not been on the Instagram in a week or so, but I'll jump on there. I'll see if you tagged us and stuff. Thank you very much. And we'll be praying for you there, Producer Joey.
Yep. Thank you, Producer Joey.
Next on the list, we got Puddin22, our
Hey,
feline producer.
Puddin22. Good to see you.
Yes, Puddin22 is, of course, a cat who has stolen their owner's credit card here and produces the show. Came in for 1111. And a note. Happy fall, B&G. Sorry I've been catnapping through the summer. Still listening whenever possible. Hope this helps with Gonza's Kitten Fund. Have a meowvelous day, Puddin22. Meow. Thank you very much, Puddin22.
Appreciate it.
Last but not least here, we've got Dr. Who Done Dat.
Hey, Dr. Who Done Dat. 777.
And a note here, just an update. Oh, sorry, he's on an 11-episode streak. And he says, just an update. I'm now 4 months without alcohol, and God is starting to redeem the friendship I had with the woman I broke up with a month ago. God is good. Have a blessed weekend, y'all. Well,
hallelujah.
That is all very good news, Dr. Who Done Dat. Congrats on the 4 months sober. Congrats on the mending of the friendship with that woman you kept us up to date with last month. We'll continue praying for you, buddy.
Yep.
And
Thank you very much,
Dr.
Dr.
Concludes our list of financial producers who came in the amount of $7.77 or more, which entitles them to have a note read on the show. We have some people who came in under that amount. We will thank them real quick, starting with Veronica D., who's on a 311-episode streak.
311. Thank you very much, Veronica D.
We got Sir Scott Knight of Truth on a 337-episode streak.
Ooh, thank you, Sir Scott.
Here he is, Sir Casey, the Shield Knight.
Sir Casey, the Shield Knight.
350-episode streak. Wow.
Ooh.
Next up, we got Dame Gail, Canary Whisperer, and Lady of X's and O's on a 309-episode streak.
Thank you very much, Dame Gail.
Next, we got Sir Moore of 9 of the Burning Chariots, 284 episodes in a row.
Hey.
Oh yeah, streakalicious.
All right. That's all of our financial producers. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot to us. And what a relieving show of producership this episode. We really appreciate that. And remember, folks, you can produce the show with your time, your talent, or your treasure. To learn more, just go to canarycry.support.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Here we go.
It's a heavy.
It is heavy.
Heavy jingle.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy jingle.
We're gonna save the speak pipe for next episode. It was Silly Goose Elder Dave, so we'll hear from him on Monday. Real quick, an audio. These are producers coming in with their talent. Help us build the culture behind the community here at Canary Cry News Talk. There's other ways to produce a show aside from just your treasure, and your talent is one of them. And we're gonna thank a couple producers here. First up, audio production. This one's from Jonathan F.
Jonathan F.
And Jonathan F. gave us a note. Hello, guys. Made this as kind of a doom break. The sample is from the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, which has been used many times over the YouTube poops. God bless and enjoy. It's about a minute long. Woo! Okay. Thank you very much, Jonathan F.
Exciting.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Wow, it's also rare that we play a 1-minute clip all the way through. That was a special event there for you, Jonathan F. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We're going to do one piece of art.
One art, please.
From Sir Dove.
One art piece from Dove.
Sir Dove has a note. Piece for this week's Bible artwork. I did an illustration for Proverbs 30, verse 8. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with the bread that is my portion. Otherwise, I may have too much and deny you, saying, who is the Lord? Or I may become poor and steal, profaning the name of my God. Hope you guys like it. Keep doing what you do. And I'll keep praying for you. And it's Dove.
Thank you very much, Sir Dove. And we've got a very fun piece of art here. It's sort of a medieval theme. In the background, we've got sort of a brick castle wall, and etched onto the wall there is Proverbs 38. And we've got in the foreground here, we've got a golden throne with a cat, humanoid cat person sitting on that throne with his fist on his chin in sort of a pensive, ponderous position. The cat is wearing a crown, a purple robe, and all the vestments of a king. And kneeling before this throne is a black and white cat with some very unique coloration there. I wonder if this is based off a real cat. And this cat is kneeling before his king, and he's wearing the robes of a peasant. This is very fun. Thank you so much, Sir Dove.
Yeah, and some of the text is lightly written in cursive behind the cat there against the brick wall.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Sir Dove. I think that is it for today. Do we want to let's thank some producers for their time, and then this has been a thing, me jetting off, but
you don't need to. You don't need to explain it to anybody, buddy. We're on the way out.
Yeah. Let's thank some producers. The time producers, starting with the Clippies.
Clippy on those videos. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Clippies. That's my line, Gons.
I know, but you were
go follow the Canary Cry Clips channel on YouTube and Odyssey. We'll be getting the Clips program up and running here as soon as I can get my butt in gear. Thank you very much to the Clippies. And that's only possible because of the timestampers.
Timestamp, it's hard work. Timestamp.
Very talented, faithful, and strong, powerful timestampers who timestamp the show as it goes along. It's very important to a bunch of our back end stuff. And I want to thank producer Morgan E. for doing the timestamps for episode 670.
Thank you, Morgan E.
And thank you to Jam for the links. Thank you to Sir Jacob Highline Haas and Night of the Issachar Pursuit, and Sir Ike. I forget your full name, Sir Ike. I'm sorry, but you guys sent in some articles to canarycry.report. If you want us to take a look at an article, folks, the best way to do it is go to canarycry.report. If you want to send in art, you can always go to canarycry.art. That'll put it on our spreadsheet. Thank you to Clank for everything you do. And share the show, folks. You can share it with your friends, your family, your social media, your dog, your robot dog. Word of mouth is the best way to promote a podcast. So it really means a lot. You guys are the reason we're able to continue doing this.
Yep.
And Guns, you got any last words?
No. We'll see you guys Monday. Have a great weekend. Hope everyone has a nice weekend as we slide into October. I don't know. What are we doing? Crawling into October?
I don't know, man. We're spooking into October. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Make sure to tune in next time. But until then, think outside the cage.
Remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Buy!
We take no money from corporations, commies, or cartels.
Bye.
I'm out of here. Bye.
Canary cry, that's support.